All right, thank you everyone for joining the Internet Value Foundation New York episode 135. I hope that everyone who gets to join the space and listen to this information in the future finds it as valuable as I know I do every single day. The diverse amount of mindsets and perspectives that get to join us in this space, so truly appreciate it ahead of time and look forward to our conversation. I'm going to go grab a couple pieces of articles of some news to put up top and some stuff that we're going to talk about today. Welcome. Glad we have Vent in the space. So he's going to be up here as well, speaking about the topics of Ripple 2.2.0 and some other cool stuff that was recently announced. And I saw an announcement from you as well earlier today, Pat. So really look forward to hearing that. And Fordad, welcome to the space, and feel free to come up if you'd like as well. All right. So the first thing I actually put up um, was actually from you Vet earlier. The XLS 71D initial owner reserve exemption. I thought that was really interesting. I haven't heard that topic mentioned as like something as a solution for able being able to onboard people maybe a little bit easier, have a smoother experience without needing that the paying for the first two trust lines. I think it's an interesting concept, but I'd like to hear um, whenever you get a chance, if you can come up, where the inspiration for writing it came from.
Hey, Death Ranger. Just give me 1 second. I'm just getting ready to get out of the house and then can get started. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
take
One
us for a
second.
walk. No, take your time. I'm still gonna grab some other stuff. The post from Ripple X about 2.2, 2.2.0. And some of the changes that were made in this recent release of the Ripple D code that uh, um, from an amendment standpoint are some stuff that we've been waiting on, particularly from the digital ID, the DID amendment for that to be able to go live. There was a fix that was needed for that, and that's also included in the Ripple D 2.2. Devon, welcome up, man.
Hey,
Welcome to
what's
the
going
space.
on, Death Ranger?
Doing well. How about yourself today, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, man. What's going on, Vet?
Hey, how are you doing, guys?
Yeah, I'm all right. Are you guys talking about the proposal?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about, I guess, everything. I mean, so much happened. Uh, SBI is currently minting NFTs.
NFTs?
Circle, yeah.
Like what kind of NFTs?
So
Uh, for World Expo.
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, anybody can go and mint the NFT, right, Vet? Just paying the gas cost. And if you go to World Expo, you can show the NFT, and it can be used as some sort of pass to get something else that would be going on event wise.
Is this like a JPEG image NFT?
Yep.
Yeah. It's with art. So
Wow.
okay. So what they did is they did a contest in Japan with creators, Web3 artists, but also just generally artists, and they selected a lot of people vote and selected the winners, and their artwork is essentially being displayed for this World Expo NFT. And what they do is basically for the visitors. Or basically, it's like this. So anyone who is minting that and is showing up at World Expo 2025, it's going to be in Osaka, Japan. they get like additional benefits at the venue, events, activations, all that stuff. And the NFT is not tradable, so you cannot trade it. And I guess it's also burnable, so they can burn it. Maybe it's going to be part of the event process. So maybe after the event, they all burn the old NFTs. I don't know. We will see. But yeah, they're using directly XBI, the XRP ledger, for this activation in Japan for World Expo. And today they started the minting process.
Don't me.
And I think they minted now over 1,000 and ongoing. And if we go by the projected visitors for such a World Expo, I think it's 28 million visitors, so that's a lot of people. I mean, we'll see how many people.
Bullish. Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a large number. 28 million, you said?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, that's quite a large number. You said 28 million?
Yeah, 28 million projected visitors. It sounds really a lot. I mean, I have no idea about World Expo in general. I think last time it was in Dubai, so I don't know what these numbers, like what a realistic number is. But this is what they put out, at least. Even if it's just 10% of it, 2.8 million. I think it would be already very, very good.
Yeah, I think that's more reasonable and still a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that is SBI today. Today was really cool seeing them being more open about using it. And if you dig into the announcement of SBI with the NFT part, and this is essentially what they are about currently in Japan in general, is they are not so sure where to go or what to do, because a lot of people are waking up that you can do things on the XRP ledger, and they weren't, um, aware of it before. And so in this case, they're using apparently another chain, Pallet chain. I know that Polygon is very big in Japan too for artists, and now they're using XRP ledger too. So it seems to be pretty much a mix. What they're using and what, just in general, like what they're about. And I think we will see more and more, not consolidation or anything like that, but I guess more testing around what they really want and need, um, and depending on that, you will see more of these chains get more adoption. Like I know that for us, like with XRP Cafe, there's a lot of people who come from Polygon, and that is something we have to keep in mind too for how to onboard these people. Yeah, and with SBI is actually the same thing. I think they're using two chains. The other chain is not necessary, so no idea why they're using the other chain. Yeah, probably awareness. Maybe they're new to it. They don't know if it's possible here or not. Yeah.
It's really interesting. And I wonder how many days is World Expo actually? It's an entire week, isn't it?
No, I think it goes for 6 months or something like that, like for a very long time in 2025. So it's for a very long period. Yeah, and they put a shit ton of money in it. They are currently building a whole area. I don't know if you have seen the. I'm pretty sure the Apple Park, where it's like a circle, and they're building essentially the same thing from the shape, not maybe size or whatever. It's cost them like $230 million that they're building just for that event, which is crazy. But yeah, there's like with the World, what is it? The football cup, the soccer cup in Qatar, uh, where they build all these stadiums and all that just for one event. Yeah, it seems to be similar. They're putting a lot of money into it. We will see.
Yeah, you're right, Vet. It clearly says going to be up to 6 months. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, something else was today with. So a lot of people know that on the XRP ledger you need um, reserves if you want to hold a token, in that case a trust line, or NFTs. And that is a concept that is not so, you know, known or usual on other chains. They don't have that. So today I basically proposed XLS71, and that is to waive or to skip um, the first two objects for an account and not charge them fees. But any additional object that they have, they will be charged. So, and the goal of this is essentially to allow new people who are using the blockchain to use it, to own, to accept an NFT, to get tokens, airdrops, whatever, without being charged with reserves. And if they find themselves that they want to stick around and own more tokens, own more NFTs, they will be charged. But just initially, they won't.
Now, from a logic perspective, right? Still thinking about trying to not have the ability for a malicious actor to try and DDoS the network. Is there still a fee paid? From instead of it being the user perspective, the individual who's just learning or wants to participate, but is met with that barrier, is there still somebody paying that fee on the other end that would be the who whatever application may provide that service or whatever would be occurring that individual had that wallet created for?
Yeah, it goes a different approach than what Mayuka did. Um, Mayuka did that approach where you have a sponsor, and you don't have that here. So the application isn't sponsoring. In that case, the XRP ledger is sponsoring. So it completely gets waived. There are no costs for the initial two objects, and the idea, and you know when I proposed this today, there was little. I guess there was actually no pushback. I guess not many people have seen it anyway, but there was no pushback because I found this logic actually in trust lines. It exists already for trust lines. In the code base, there's a comment on it reasoning why, and also on xrp.org, there's also reasons why. So essentially, many people don't know, but if you want to hold a token or trust lines on the XRP ledger, the first two trust lines or tokens basically. You don't get charged for reserves. Not many people know that. I didn't knew either, but now I know, and I was like, damn, that is really cool. Why isn't this not for all objects on the ledger? Let's make it for all objects, because it was like a very old comment, and just when 2013, 14, when there was nothing, just tokens. Now we have so many. We have NFTs, we have DID, oracles, you name it. So many things an account can own and do, and this should be expanded. So that is basically the proposal, just to expand this to other um, objects as well, and make it known so that people know that um, this is a thing. You don't have to have reserves for the first two, and that's really powerful. And this will lead me to basically being able to make the case to all validators to reduce the account activation. Currently it's 10 XRP, to reduce it maybe to 5 XRP. Okay. And the reason is why a lot of people are hesitant is not because of this reserve, the activation, it's the object reserve. Okay. Because a lot of people say if you reduce it from 10 XRP to 5 XRP, then a lot of people also propose to reduce the owner reserve, which is for an object, from 2 XRP to 1 or even lower. And the problem with that is this owner, so we differentiate between base reserve base is the account activation, and owner reserve is the object. Okay, so one token, NFT, and so on. And this reserve, and today it's 2 XRP, is getting burned. So if I activate an account on the XRP ledger for 10 XRP, and I I delete the account, then 2 XRP is getting forever deleted. So I get 8 back. Why is this the case? Well, so people cannot spam create accounts. So you see, the more you create and delete an account, the less XRP you get back, and eventually everything is gone. Okay, so this is the tactic of the XRP ledger, to let you run out of XRP in case you want to create, delete. You can only do it so much because 2 XRP is constantly burned forever. And so when we think about reducing the account activation on the XRP ledger, a lot of validators are asking, what is with the account deletion? Like, this is the point. Like, what is with the account deletion fee? Is it the same? And if you want to reduce the account deletion fee from 2 XRP to 1 or less, then is that an issue for spamming? Because that is essentially what keeps people away from attacking the ledger. It's not the 10 XRP, it's not the 5 XRP activation, whatever. It's this deletion fee, because this is how you can attack it. So with this proposal, I can get around and say, hey, we can reduce the activation from 10 XRP to 5 XRP and keep the owner reserve of 2 XRPs the same. Okay, so we can keep it the same. But by keeping it the same, we are not hurting new people, because if the first 2 objects are for free, then we get a really nice middle ground by lowering the activation and still allow people to, if they create an account for an airdrop, a token, get an NFT, whatever, to get that without having the need to have these 2 XRP in reserve. Okay, so this is basically the tactic, and this is why I needed this proposal in order to make my bigger or my overarching argument of reducing the account fees, activation fees, by giving this middle ground. Because again, the biggest criticism is, if you lower the owner reserve, the 2 XRP currently, what happens with attacking the ledger? And in my case, with this, I can say we don't have to reduce it, we just keep it. Okay, so there's no objection. And we get both. We make the people, the validators, happy by keeping it the same way, but we make also the users happy by saying, hey, the 2 XRP won't hurt you if you are a new user. Okay, so you see where I'm coming with this. It's essentially to make both sides happy until we figure out a better solution for eventually driving all these reserves and fees way lower. But that's today not possible.
I really like your approach. It's way different than anything I've ever heard, especially, all the conversations we've had going back years, right? It's always been a conversation where both are entangled, right? If the reserve for the wallet goes down, the reserve for what you would think of the objects also goes down, and I also like the ingenuity you put into it, where it's not just specific objects; it's all objects. So even the DID being an object that exists on the XRP ledger when voted in would be something that could be set with no cost. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, thank you. I came by, coincidence across it, because, again, if you say we want to reduce all of these reserve activation, then you get into constantly the argument. Like, some people want to have it like as low as possible. The validators say no because of attacking the network, keeping it higher. So you have like constantly this back and forth, and what is the middle ground essentially? What is the middle ground? How can we get around this without, I guess, stepping on anyone's toes and invalidate? Because it is a difficult thing to do, and people want to come up with tests or other mechanisms to showcase, hey, this is safe or not. This is way easier. This is way easier. The implementation is not difficult at all. It's just literally an if statement, right? It's, hey, if you have more than 2 trust lines or more than 2 DIDs, whatever, you get charged reserve. If you don't have more than 2, you don't get charged. It's super super simple, not difficult at all. Nothing that needs big security audits or whatever. Just basic reviews, and that's it. And this way we can reduce all of that stuff and make basically both people happy, because people who want to have lower activation reserves and all of that is because they want to onboard people. They want to onboard people. This is their need. I want to onboard new people to the XRP ledger, but the costs are too high. And the other people say, hey, if you reduce it, then people might attack it. So in this way, we can say, hey, we reduce one thing, keep the other thing up, but we waive the fee for new people. So you get. I think this is a good approach, and we will see if people like it or not. But it's something I think I can defend very well.
Vet, I think the community is really lucky to have you. It's these moments where, going back to 2017, 2018, and today, I mean, I would have never thought uh, that someone in the community would have had. That's a really great idea, actually. I can't see anybody really being able to argue against it because it solves both issues. And this has been a hot topic for what, 2 years already, really though.
Yeah, it's been out there for a very long time, and I think this is a good way again to get out of it. And yeah, we will see. Because I think it is indeed like both sides have a good arguments, right? People who say, "Hey, it might be attacked or might be spam attacked." Yeah, might be. You cannot say no because you don't know. That's the issue, that we don't know. And I see also the other people who say, "Hey, I want to make like airdrops. I want to make all these things. I want to onboard all the people, and you are in my way." So you know, I see both sides, and I think this way we might get a middle ground for a while, until we figure out a better solution.
I could see the only pushback if someone gave it to you. The answer to the equation may be to raise the deletion of the object fee just slightly, and that might incentivize someone who might want to be malicious at that point not to be malicious in that manner, because from the deletion fee of the object. Uh, and the thought of, like, if you're maybe making an account for a DID, you're most likely not going to plan on deleting that object that exists in the account. So I think it makes sense, just in case.
That is true. No, that is true. You have no incentive to delete, basically, because usually a reserve is also an incentive to get rid of it when you don't need it, because you get 2 XRP back. That is very helpful for the ledger to clean itself. With this, the first 2, there's no incentive to delete them because you are not getting anything back. So people will just most likely forget about them or just keep them. Um, that is a very legitimate concern or very legitimate argument. Um, I think I would then answer with, the alternative to it is to reduce the owner reserve, and that might be more problematic than to know, okay, the first 2 account objects will be created and maybe also not deleted. But if you reduce it from 2 XRP to, like, the alternative would be to reduce from 2 XRP to 1 or 0.5, then you might have even less so of an incentive to delete it, right? Because maybe people say, for half an XRP or quarter of an XRP, I'm not going to delete it. And that is then for all objects, right? Not only for the first 2. So yeah, it's legitimate. I agree with you. It's ultimately, I guess, what are the alternatives to that? And yeah,
I still like it a lot, though, and I'd like to see it actually in action. I definitely would. I think. I don't think something
yeah,
nefarious would happen if we did that. So I think it's a great idea, personally. But going over to
yeah,
some of the fixes, though, in the Ripple 2.2.0, the most recent version of the Ripple D, code base that was released out, and Price Oracle being something very interesting. Of course, there's a lot that goes into it, particularly the way that it's going to work on the XRP ledger, and From your standpoint, Vet, have you heard anybody who maybe plans to try and host one of the price oracles on the network? Anyone that maybe is trusted in the community? Any thoughts on how we might see that kind of play out, or how you would like to see it play out if when it gets voted in?
Yeah, I think I haven't heard anyone planning to do anything other than, I mean, FOMO, short to FOMO. A lot of people know short to FOMO. He's playing around with it a lot, so he's really a pro in the Oracle space in general because he's dealing a lot with it, with his globe that he has, his website that a lot of people are using. So he's a very good expert in that. Um, but like real providers of oracles, I haven't heard anyone saying, like maybe band protocol. I think Devon is mentioning them sometimes, but essentially anyone can use it. Like I was thinking, look, XRP Cafe or any marketplace, for example, could publish the floor price of an NFT as an oracle. You could publish your Twitter followers as an oracle, and people can query how many followers you have, or you name it. It's literally just a container for data that you can update, and people can query it. That's essentially it. It's just a nice way on chain to search for data and have the same data as anyone else, right? If I look at Death Ranger's Oracle, anyone, you know, sees also Death Ranger's Oracle, and we can verify, hey, what I'm seeing is what you are seeing. That is very cool. And we can also see when was it updated the last time, because there is an update stamp, so we can see, okay, it was updated a week ago, so maybe it's not up to date. And if it's an old update, then I might not include it into my calculations. But having it on chain has a lot of benefits for that. Not only right now, I'm looking at looking at lending and borrowing in the future, and automated market maker, and how they might be connected in the future eventually. So yeah, it's literally a container. I would always urge people to think of containers in that aspect. You can put in whatever you want. If it happens to be price data, then that's fantastic. But yeah, I haven't heard anyone seriously putting themselves as providers out there myself. I haven't heard anyone.
I think it was a great mention though, short the FOMO, because he definitely has the Oracle skills. He's been, just like you said, the website 3xrp.dev has been up for a while. Of course, taken down a couple times for certain reasons,
Yeah,
but but yeah, I'd actually really be interested to see if he does anything. The thing with the XRP ledger way that the price oracle is going to work is we really need a couple, right? Just like how you had mentioned, that ability to verify sources and data and information, and I think that makes the ethos of the XRP ledger, right? The XRP ledger being decentralized. I think it's a necessity for sure for us to be able to have a working Oracle system. But I look at things like Flare, which also has the ability to provide, say, who's someone who might be acting as a singular price oracle, the ability to just pull this data that might exist from all these other data providers who are going through that exact same kind of thought when we think about decentralization, and having that information articulated in that particular source and manner, and then that just brought over, right, and then that being able to be externally be proven. I think that also provides the ability for us not to need maybe a lot of people that are hosting these nodes and acting as the price oracles for the network. So I'd like to hear I know Four Dads. I know you're in the space.
yeah.
You're more than welcome to come up if you'd like. I'd like to hear your perspective from it, because I know you are a Songbird and Flare operator.
We have also Wolf up there.
And Wolf, welcome up, man.
Wolf
You've
of
been
God.
quiet. Yeah, welcome. Jump on in, man.
Yeah, no, I just joined the wonderful conversation, guys. Thanks for me. And how are you guys doing? Long time.
Hey, how you doing, Wolf? Did you mint your SBI NFT yet?
No, I didn't. But you can. I heard you said it in the beginning that you can mint from SBI.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
huge.
Yeah, people have minted it. It. I was thinking of maybe. Yeah, I will make a video probably about it or something. Where we mint it together. Because I'm personally like I'm very excited to see other people. Like I mean SBI obviously they have such a big stake in the XRP ledger and Ripple. But these people are you know using the XRP ledger in the same way that many of us are doing it, collectors, enthusiasts, and fans is very exciting to me, honestly. I think a couple of years ago people would not think that this would be possible, but small steps and yeah, them using it. Um, Other people in Japan, like we see a tremendous amount of people um, in that region are very, very enthusiastic about the XRP ledger, about the community, about art, collectibles, all of this, and it's really amazing. I think it will need some cultivation. It will need some guidance, and if we do it correctly, we might have a really good chance here, just with normal retail, normal users, to spark a lot of on-chain activity on the XRP ledger. Certainly, currently it's not doing that well because on both sides we don't have really good projects on the XRP. Like there's not that amount of supply or that supply that people make them very much attracted to using something. And we have also a lot of people are not users because they don't know that you can use it. It's awareness. So we have these two sides, and I think we're getting very, very close in um, bridging that gap and getting people to use it, but also bringing these content creators and their communities to the ledger. That is very, very important, I think. Look, there was a really good example by someone called Udi. He's very big in ordinals, and um, yeah, he's the ordinal guy. I guess apart from Casey, but and he was giving an example with community and distribution specifically and tools, and he was like saying, look, back in the 2000s, a lot of people might remember Half-Life 2 by Valve, right? Amazing game. Half-Life 2, holy shit, come on. Like the meme with Half-Life 3 is the people are so fanatic about it because Half-Life 2 was so good. Like I remember that, like 2004, 2008, in the 2000s basically. And yeah, a lot of people gamers, definitely, definitely. If you are, um, a gamer and you are 20, 25 plus years old, you'll more certainly have played it. And so, and back then it was the thing. They really hold back with Half-Life for a very long time because they wanted to make it very perfect and all of that, and they wanted to push updates. But it's hard because they were distributing it through CDs back then. A lot of people know CDs and DVDs, and that is not a good distribution mechanism. So CDs, DVDs, so they were holding back, and you know they came up with Steam. You know, Steam. Now everybody knows Steam by now. They came up with Steam, and they were saying, hey, if you in order to play Half-Life 2 to get Half-Life 2, you get Steam, and then we distribute through Steam Half-Life 2, and almost immediately, people started downloading and installing Steam and having that ready because they want to play the game and getting the distribution, getting the updates, getting all of this stuff. So you see that the anticipation of something with a lot of that has a lot of demand, in that case content, was very irrelevant for people what program they were using, in that case Steam. They just needed it in order to get that what they want. So if we can get content to the XRP ledger, people really don't care that it's the XRP ledger in that case. I mean, it would be amazing if people care, but we take whatever. And this is where I'm coming from personally. I think if we can get more the supply side, we get the demand side for free, because I think content is king. If people really, if there's good content, people come, and they really don't care where it is. If I look at the Japanese collectors and creators currently, they're using Polygon and they're using multiple other chains, and they have collectors who are jumping chains with them. So they release something on Polygon, the collectors, they go to Magic Eden, OpenSea. The collector, does something on Cardano. They get the wallet and go to JPEG Store Marketplace there. They literally don't care which chain they're using necessarily. They are just fans, like diehard fans of this creator. And yeah, this is my approach. I think if we can bridge that more, we might see a different dynamic on the XRP ledger, because quite honestly, there is just not good supply on the XRP ledger. If someone says, "Hey, okay, I'm coming to the XRP ledger. What kind of project can I have here?" We have 50 derivatives and maybe 10 very original ones that are high up, and a lot of one-on-one artists. We have a very nice one-on-one base, artist base. So we do have them, but it's not in that weight that you want to have, like where there's a lot of community power behind them. And yeah, so long story short, I think the supply side is the interesting part to solve first before getting more users on board. Mimi.
Oh yeah. She seems to like to follow you around there, Vet. Oh. Well,
But yeah, maybe she wants to chime into the topic. Hey, we never know.
that's your
Death Ranger.
choice.
So, by the way, so SBI have started with NFT trading, or you can mint NFTs, or is it?
You can mint, you cannot trade them. And I was able to get why. It's because of legal stuff. Look, these people, they are all afraid about the legal ramifications. So they want to. I have no idea if that is really a hot thing, that you cannot make them tradable or something, that's an issue. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe it is, but maybe they are just overly cautious. In any way, you cannot trade them. You can mint them and own them, and yeah, you should. I think that's very historic to have literally first.
Yeah, and it's a great
collection.
use of the function of the burn flag, right? If they catch you trying to sell it, aka maybe trying to sell your seed phrase or an account, well, they could just burn your NFT.
Yep. It's like with Counter-Strike or something. When people try to sell their accounts and they get banned or something. Yeah,
it's
why
been
not?
going on for a long time for sure.
Yeah, Mimi, what's up?
Welcome up, Mimi.
Okay, great. Stop being carriers, because some of y'all talk like y'all carriers. Please stop trying to kill Americans. If you gay, be gay. LGBTQ,
Well, that was about 5 seconds too long of her being up here. Sorry for everyone in the space there.
That was the shortest Mimi action ever. She didn't last long
Man,
this time.
she wasn't even close to the topic train.
She was immediately going hard.
She threw a dart and it hit someone
her
in the back
favorite
of the head.
topic. Yeah, no chill, Mimi.
No chill.
1st of July, and she immediately comes with that topic. Come on.
They were the first day of the month. I like how you brought that up there.
Yeah, she was just waiting for it.
Oh man, community though. Hashtag community being one of the topics up top, because all of these things that we speak about, these networks, the XRP ledger, mentioned Flare beforehand, right? All of these networks, they don't get to where there gets to be adoption worldwide, even if it's just small network effects, whatever that may be, from interoperable means, without community. It's such an essential part, especially today. We look at social media for the survival of any aspect of objects that we care about in our reality. Go ahead.
Have you seen Death Ranger? What I posted about Hodor and Galvatron?
I did,
Yeah.
Actually, it I sat down for a second. I was like, I should just really just write some blogs, because man, follow them at
Yeah,
Twitter. But it's
look,
it's there's like a devotional aspect to it that really, right, hosting your website, hosting your own blog, putting your information out there. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a dynamic to it. I don't know.
look,
But sorry, go ahead.
no, look, for me, it was really about, because Wrath of Cain Man also commented, and I like what he said as well. He said, people have moved on from blogs. It's now YouTube and Spaces. Saul said, and other, and that is true. So it is more about the content, less so the format. It's more about the content, and for me, it was just I was missing like these very intellectual, very well written or articulated in whatever way posts can be. Nowadays, you would maybe do a post, right? Maybe not a blog post, maybe post on X, um, from these people or from anyone actually. I was just missing that. When I look at my timeline, it is usually 3, 4 big accounts shilling fake news with XRP. I get 3, 4 moon predictions. I see maybe 8 people who are self-loathing and blaming themselves for getting into XRP and how shit everything. Like, I get all of this, and there's nothing that stimulates you to engage in a meaningful conversation, right? I can tell the people, this one person or whatever, hey, your information is BS. Look at this and this. I can tell this other person, hey, if you hate your situation so much, get out of it. Sell and move on. You can tell the moon predictions, whatever. You are ridiculous, but what is ridiculous? You know what I mean? It's not a meaningful conversation, and what I miss is these meaningful discourses that were stimulating naturally because it was inspiring you to think. Um, and I haven't had nearly as many of these sparks, mental sparks, for a very long time. We do have them. Don't get me wrong. We do have them, and I think Raphael came in and said it's not about quality of the people. Um, not to what is it? Mix up stature with quality. Basically, just because people have a community stature doesn't mean quality. But the thing is, quality is something um, individually, right? So maybe I say, hey, Wolf is bringing a lot of quality to the table. Stature is when there's a consensus about Wolf is bringing, or anyone, okay, anyone is bringing quality to the table. So the more people individually say, hey, this person is bringing quality to the table, or whatever that means in that context, then that translates to stature eventually. So I mean, typically, I would say maybe sometimes you can see them, but there may be some people who have stature where there's no quality behind it. But that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring people who stand on their own because of of themselves, right? Because what they're doing, and they don't need they don't need to put themselves. Just people put them or value their opinion just for the sake of it. They let the work speak for itself. And I think that is very powerful. And I haven't seen the same way many new people joining or the existing community be having those people, and I hope we eventually get more of these people, and because you truly do miss it. A lot of people might not miss it if they have never seen it. um, Someone who's coming from 2017 and have read the Hodor blogs, Galgatron, and they are in and out. Galgatron released a blog post a while ago, a little bit more recently. Hodor is in and out. He's not writing currently, but you can read all of it, and yeah, if you read it, then I guess what you are missing. And that was my comment basically when I said, hey, yeah, it would be awesome to get more of these refreshing morning showers that stimulates um, your mind to think in a good way, not in this very high schoolish way that we have a lot. I don't know if it's because of price or because in general the community, maybe due to price or due to whatever, is sometimes to a certain degree deteriorating in terms of the quality of discourses, because some of them are really like, yeah, very very bad. Um, so to say it friendly, yeah, that was basically my comment. It was like mixed responses, but I hope people understood what I'm saying. I'm not taking anything away from people who are currently contributing a lot to the community. That's not what I mean. But even those people who are contributing a lot to the community and who are here and doing their best, I think they themselves would also agree that having more of these people who stimulate your mind and your, um, you know, yeah, basically everything that you're doing on the XRP ledger to articulate how you feel about certain things, even beyond the XRP ledger, crypto in general, would not hurt. Yeah, that's basically what I want to say.
Yeah, and it's funny you say it because I was just thinking the other day to myself that for the next couple months, I think my spaces are going to be primarily focused on community engagement again, and really just trying to get everyone in here talking to each other about intellectual ideas, these stimulating conversations that we have that create these vibrations in us that help in a happy, empathetic, loving way, just like you had mentioned the other spaces that are out there. Possibly, there is a ton of the negative energy that is kind of surrounding a lot of them, and so yeah, I think this is also one of these moments, Vet, where it's kind of difficult being yourself because one of the things you mentioned, right, about the content coming out and really like the feed, right, being filled with stuff that is intellectual and engaging. Well, that's your content. And so, it's kind of difficult to engage with your own content. And so, this is like it's an interesting moment hearing you kind of say it because it's like, well, from my perspective, I'm like, no, I am getting that bed, but I'm getting it from you. But you're like, I'm not getting this anywhere. It's a really interesting scenario actually, and I would totally like to see that change as well, right? We totally need more people who are doing exactly like what you're doing, Vet. And
Yeah, I mean, see, even with so in 2021, 2022, when more people, not necessarily technical, but just in general, just some other people were more active on X as well. Um, I really love that time a lot on X. I love to just talk and comment, discuss with people together or um, alone about whatever on the XRP ledger is currently going on, XRP, the market, crypto in general, adoption, you name it, network, all of that. And I really like that a lot because I feel specifically the people who I had the best conversations with, I feel like those people are or have been the most sticky people in the community, to be very persistent and yeah, just usually people where you can get really good information from, or good takes, because they have like their own opinion that they can articulate, and just characters. Maybe it's just characters. Like I'm still thinking exactly what it is, what makes these people special, because for what it's worth, like all of them are anonymous, so it doesn't really matter what their background is. That's the interesting part. Nobody really cares here in this space is like what your background is, what your credentials are, because if what you have to say is good, it can stand on its own. It really doesn't matter where you're coming from, what you have, what you bring to the table. If it's a good take, then it's a good take. A good take is a good take. A good argument is a good argument. Um, and a very relatable character is a very relatable character. It is what. So, and I feel like we had a lot of people who were very relatable in the community, and I wish we get more very relatable people in the community. Maybe they are existing currently, and they're gonna pop up, or the new joiners, newcomers, all of this. But yeah, hard to articulate myself. So
it's funny you said that word because I was just about to say articulation is so important, and especially in the manner of what you were speaking about beforehand, right? Galvatron and Hodar, the information that somebody puts out, they could have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. But if they articulate a, and I'll explain it like this, from an engineering standpoint, you and I could be looking at a structure and you could walk over to me and begin to break down the structure. And if what you're saying is just confusing to me, well, it's just it's just going to be an object to me. But if you can articulate that structure in a way that resonates with me, the whole situation has changed, because now me and you are on the exact same wavelength, and that can't be understated.
Yes. Yes, exactly. It's how you articulate, how you deliver the message. Very often less so about the message. Like someone could have like a fire message, but the delivery is so bad. The delivery is so bad that if you just hear it, you like, oh no, this is terrible. Even though the idea might be really good, but how they're packaging it is maybe not good, or maybe come across as negative, you know. And this is not too it's not insult or anything. I mean, we're just all humans. You are either born with it, I guess, or you can train it, you can have it or not, and that is totally fine. Because where people have strength, they have weaknesses. We have all strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses. It's just human. It's just normal. Um, but what I was, I guess, trying to say is having a lot of people in the community where their strength is clearly this delivery, yeah, would be really awesome. It's really good. It's for me personally just benefit, like from a selfish perspective, selfish as I am, beneficial because it helps me. It helps me to order also my thoughts, to see, you know, different perspectives, but delivered in a way that where I know it's not the delivery that is ruining the message. You don't want to ruin the message by the delivery. You ideally want to have the message as nicely presented as possible so that people can digest it also very well. Like digesting information in this day and age is so difficult. Just open your Twitter right now, refresh your timeline, you get so much stuff, and there might be some good stuff in it, but do you really know? I don't know. Maybe you have to come across the same information twice, or multiple times per day, and maybe someone is delivering it in a way that is really jumping, almost in your face, that you say, oh, hey, that's cool, even though that information was around like 2 days. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I guess it's part of the community. And when you mentioned community, I was referring my post, um, yesterday around that because yeah,
It's also
something I
it's also
noticed.
one of the reasons why I think memes are so powerful, right? Because it is that same concept of articulation of information wrapped up into an image, which the brain processes without realizing the maybe the structural representation that went into putting all of that information together. And so it's just another example of why that articulation makes such a great difference. And
Something else, by the way, if I may add here
no, please go ahead.
with Hodor, yeah, because someone was saying that too in my post, just because of this flat Earth stuff and all that. See, the thing is, um, depending, I guess, how old you are, like I really don't care what views someone has, um, because I go back to the message. For me, stands alone. Like if you have a good take, like imagine that someone has a good take or a good argument, good message, and you discredit or you devalue the message just based on the value beliefs of someone in a different topic. I mean, it just makes just objectively makes no sense. And I think this has nothing to do with being objective; it's just subjective. Humans just look at, hey, are we on the same page on other places? If yes, then I'm more likely to believe you or be aligned with you on something totally different, even though it might be not the case. But just because we agree on other things. So in that regard, I was saying when someone was commenting that, I said I personally really don't care If he is a flat earther or if he believes whatever, I just look at what he posts and to certain, to the topics that I like him, and if they're good, I'm totally fine with it. I don't go around and say, hey, yeah, that's actually a really good take, a really good argument, but it's all BS because there's this other topic where we are not aligned with. It just makes objectively makes no sense, right? It's like you bring a good argument. And it's like, yeah, but I disagree with you because you don't like sushi or something like that. Yeah, even though not liking sushi is a red flag for me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that as well. Sorry. So did you hear about the Circle news today?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I'm sure you probably have no more about information. Like I saw they were hosting a space too, and yeah, what up with stable coins,
Yeah,
USDC?
USDC and they are the first regulated stablecoin to be existing inside of the European framework that MiCA provides. And so I thought this is small stepping stone, of course, large stepping stone for Circle, allows them to position themselves to be a regulated stablecoin operator in Europe, which is huge, especially when you think about USDT. They've now went past the expiration date for them to apply to get that license, and some of the speculation and talk of reasoning on why was that the requirements for the stablecoin to be registered in Europe had to have at least 60% backing directly by the euro, which, as you know, of course, from what Tether produces information wise, they say they are backed by treasuries, US dollar treasuries. So, of course, if they would want to have euro, they would then have to sell those treasuries and purchase euros. That would most likely not work out for them if they actually were backed by US dollar treasuries today. So, the Circle gets to position themselves as the European regulated stablecoin, as the first, I should say, European regulated stablecoin. And the reason I really put it up in the space, MiCA in general, not particularly Circle, is because I look at RL USD. Oh gosh, I hope they change that name before it ever gets minted. But the the advantage of having a first mover already there, Ripple not yet produced their stablecoin, but knowing that the stablecoin that they do produce, they have already spoken about backing it with dollars, right, and representation in the bank or equivalent treasuries. And so I think that this is also a great opportunity for them to actually be able to participate in that same market. Of course, Circle has the dominance in sense of market cap and utility as far as the networks that they're on today. I think it's a great time. We're seeing some progress. Where Micah's almost is Micah already a year old? Yeah, Micah's already over a year old. And so finally we have our first regulated stablecoin issuer in Europe, and you know, maybe some next steps we'll see in the end of this year.
Yeah, it seems regulation that people always say isn't only coming; it's getting activated here. And from Jeremy's Twitter space, because I was just listening in a little bit, and he was very proud, of course, for and he should. That's definitely a huge step um, to continue, I guess, your operations in in Europe, which is like very significant. What I like, by the way, he said, what is it? No, he did not say that because he did like a guys. You have to check out his post that he made. It was gigantic. Like it was little. It was so large. The post. You were scrolling because he was going back basically back with the history of Circle and everything. So you could tell, that someone was very proud of himself and the company achievement. If you go back to the roots and list everything, like he was showing, we just had 4 million market cap and now we have 40 billion, and We should just go in all of this. Um, and between the lines, in one sentence, he said like the growth for stables in Europe is almost certain. Like really liked, I guess, that phrase. Like he's not predicting, he's not assuming, he's saying almost certain. Like almost certain is pretty big for someone who's dealing with this whole topic like day in and day out, right? It's like it's his life. Um, and I always tell people like with stables having a lot of adoption is very good because that means people are comfortable holding assets on a blockchain. It's just unrealistic that everyone holds a volatile asset in any case, like even like with XRP. It just doesn't make sense. You know, like if imagine you get paid, in that asset and that asset goes up 20 and 30% down, and that makes the difference between you can pay the rent, you cannot pay the rent, you can pay, get groceries or not. It doesn't make sense. So you need a stable counterparty on the ledger, like Euro, USD, you name it. It's complementary. It's not versus. It's also not cannibalizing or anything like that. But that is a really good sign for users, even for Ripple. Like Ripple is also doing it because they see a tremendous growth coming in that, and it's for them a good opportunity to see not only how their stablecoin is going to evolve there, but how it is complementary to their product portfolio. I think they're very hesitant oftentimes maybe to say that a stable is a better choice than XRP for certain offerings. I think they shouldn't be like afraid or hold back. I think because of the community, because people say, "Oh no, look, they're abandoning." It's just a fact. Like it is just not always the best solution, and that is very objective to be the case. That it is sometimes not the best solution because if you don't want to hold a volatile asset, what are your options? So you can either tell people, hey, your only option is holding a volatile asset or not being on the XRP ledger. Like this is a bad alternative. People go to other chains, other services provided by other companies. So it's really good to say, hey, look, you can hold the volatile asset if you like, or for whatever use case you have currently, or hold a stable coin on chain instead of fiat, because currently they hold a lot of fiat and that is off chain. So why not bringing them on chain with a stable? Like it's a win-win situation. And the ledger will always need XRP, not only for transaction fees, not only for reserves. We talked about reserves. We talked about auto bridging. Like we have a ton of liquidity aggregator functions that are exclusive to the token, the native token, and it's counterparty free. Like there's no other token that is counterparty free on this chain other than XRP. It's just a different value proposition that people have to realize, other than oh, a ton of liquidity or it's fast, cheap, and all of that. It's just a different approach, and that is no less exciting or powerful. In my opinion. So it's good news. Tony, by the way, did also an interview. I don't know if I have seen it. I haven't. Um, I definitely want to do that after the call or so, because they were talking. He had Jeremy, and I think they also talked maybe briefly about the RLUSD. Very terrible name, but I think they also talked about RLUSD, and I'm curious what his opinion is about RLUSD. I think he congratulated Brett Garlinghouse when they announced it, so it seems thumbs up. But a competitor is a competitor. Every more stable coin as a stablecoin issuer, you wish there's less. I guess I don't know, but yeah,
This
I'm
and
curious what he has
it's a
to say.
very profitable position to be in if you're doing it the right way. I mean, just just from the standpoint of being a stablecoin issuer and taking a fee for those who want to come and mint those stablecoins, that's profitable by itself. Throw in the interest rates into it, it's very profitable to be a stablecoin issuer today and operator if you're doing it the correct maneuvering. So, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. Horrible name.
Yeah, we will see. I definitely will watch the interview. But yeah, good
Yeah,
news
that
overall.
is for those who want to check out that interview with Tony, which is Thinking Crypto on YouTube. I'm going to check that out too. I didn't realize that they had a recent interview. I also posted up Rose's space. So Rose is going to be back hosting spaces on Wednesdays, and you know, the topic train, right, going from projects to community, I think is going to be really cool and interesting. So for all those in the community who want to come up, speak about your adventure, your pathway through, the information that you still may want to obtain, you know, I think you guys give her a message and you know, set something up so you guys can go on the space and speak about, you know, community, because with
That's
right,
amazing.
right, and without everyone here in the space, and without everyone who participates, there would be no community. So you know,
I
it
agree
is
with that.
everyone.
Yeah, shout out to that, and yeah, I hope more to see more of that in general. People are doing the best, and
Oh, you're rugging on us, Vet.
you know, nobody's forced to do anything. So the more I guess be
I couldn't agree more. And if you can hear me, I plan up on closing the space up in the next minute or so. Unless there are people who would like to come up, if anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to add into the space, this has been a great conversation, and really appreciate. Oh, we lost Vet there. I really appreciate Vet though for coming into the space with me. One thing I did notice though, Vet, is I never have more anonymous listeners than when you're in the spaces with me. I don't know if it's just a thing. The anonymous people follow you around your back. All right, cool. No, but yeah, this has been a great space, and like I said, anybody who wants to come up real quick, add in their 2 cents, any information or questions that you guys might have, feel free to hit the request and come back up. I'm not sure if it's letting you up there, Vet, but I'm gonna close up. It was a really great conversation. I really appreciate you for coming in, Vet.
Great space, guys. That's
Thank you, Wolf, and I think it might have let Vet back up. You there, Vet?
no, I don't think so. I can't see him anymore on the stage.
There we go. You able to hear us, Vet? Some technical difficulties. Uh, don't worry about it, Vet. Though. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the night. Appreciate everyone for listening to the space today and everyone who participated and came up. We will be back tomorrow, Tuesday. You're going to change the topic train actually a little bit. We're going to be talking about robotics, automation, photonics tomorrow. So for everybody who may be interested in that topic, please feel free to come in. Keeping it community engagement, right? If people want to switch the topics up that come in, they have questions about anything distributed ledger technology, XRP ledger, Flare, you name it. We could switch the topic train at any moment in time. But I'm going to start off talking about some cool thoughts on robotics and automation. In particular, one individual who kind of sparked the thought of it. You know, just talking about all the cool things like Tesla bots that are probably going to be out in the next year or so. Oh, you're back, Bud.
yeah. Sorry, I think I was out or something. I just listened to the you said about yeah, with the anonymous listeners. Yeah, I do carry some with me around. Good friends, probably, hopefully.
You got it. And it's funny. Well, see, look, you know, what are the odds of that, Bud? You dropped out of the space, and we lost 7 of the anonymous listeners. Yeah, I was saying before, you know, I never have more anonymous listeners than I do when other than when you're in the space. But I really appreciate you coming up, Vet, and speaking today. And it was a really great conversation. And I hope to keep this train going, this intellectual conversations. And anybody in the space, right? Please feel free, even if you're listening to this at a later date, tag me in a question or Vet in a post, whatever you guys need from a information perspective. But
are you planning on holding more crypto-based spaces in the future, Death, or will it be more time traveling and quantum physics and things?
So I'm definitely going back towards the community engagement aspect of it. And if people want distributed ledger, and we want to talk about all of these different operations that exist on like the XRP ledger and you name it, yep, 100%. We'll go back to the distributed ledger technology route and talk about different networks. And I think, as much as I've done a lot of things on talking about the aspect of quantum computation, uh, algorithms in general, physics, things that we've talked about for the last couple of months. I think there's been a lot of also new creations in the distributed ledger technology space, different interoperable networks, things that are omnidirectional in means of interoperable exchange between information, right, value systems. And so I think going back to the distributed ledger technology, touching on some of the new stuff, the XRP ledger being part of that, right? I mean, there has been so many new things that have come out in the XRP ledger over the course of the last 6 months. I think Mayuka, I don't know how she's doing it. I don't. Her fingertips. She must have like tape at the end of her fingertips. She's hitting the keyboard so often, because she is just pumping out different amendments and just concepts in general that have been coming out. And anybody in the space, right? Anybody part of the XRP Ledger community can create their own proposals. I mean, it's as easy as going on the GitHub, creating an account. And even if it's just a concept, there doesn't have to be any code relation to it at all. You could just write down a concept, and if you understand the mechanics of the way that the network works, you're able to produce, concepts and ideas that might be taken by the participants of the network and utilized in much grandiose ways. So, for anybody listening, never doubt the potential of an idea, because you can't know it's a great idea unless you let other people know about it. But that being said, yeah, thank you, Pat, and I appreciate you being here today, man. But I love everyone. I hope everyone has a great rest of the night, and see everyone tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.